What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, I want to give you an update on what's happening with the market right now because I'm sure you're seeing all of this red. Many of our favorite cryptos down 3, 4, 5, up to 10%. And so, of course, I'm sure you wanted a quick update. And so with this, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, what we're going to start off with is crypto bubbles, just getting a feel for the general market. And what we can see is that, yeah, I mean, things have been red today. Phantom, Brett, Tia, Link, Atom, Core, MNT, STRK, ARB, AKT, AVAX, FLR, Polkadot, Ethereum. I mean, many of these sharing the load over the last 24 hours in terms of getting absolutely wrecked to the downside. Now, if we do go ahead and over to Total One, which is the total market cap of crypto in general, if we do look at this from more of a fundamental perspective, you can also see that this thing as a whole is getting wrecked to the downside. And I think it's important to be able to do this, to set the context of, what you're looking at when you're talking about, because at the end of the day, obviously when there's a huge Ethereum ETF stuff going on, right, or there's Bitcoin Nashville, or whatever it may be, it's easy to individualize or maybe even isolate some of these losses to these specific investments. So you're like, oh, my ETH is down this, or my Bitcoin is down this. And I think it's important to remove yourself from that false sense of isolation and look at it from more of the grand scheme of things. And the grand scheme of things shows that the entire market is taking a beating. Now, I actually think that this is normal. I think that this is maybe even particularly a good thing. And it's personally not something that I'm even worried about. Let me explain why. Well, the primary reason as to why I'm not particularly worried about this is because it's normal. Not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it's normal. What we know is that the, of course, general crypto market has been within this descending wedge for the last few months. Realistically, I mean, ever since let's call it March, right? The second, third week of March, we have been consistently putting in higher lows or lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, etc. And it doesn't seem as if we're stopping right now. And of course, as this does happen, it is natural and normal to see these moments and times in which you're going to get pullbacks and rejections. Hell, it's not the first one we've seen. It's not going to be the last. We saw this, we saw this, we saw this, and that, and this, and this, and this, guys, and that, and this. And that's all been just within the last few months. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, either 9 or 10 major pullbacks that we've seen for the total market cap of crypto just over the last few months. And so, of course, because of that, in a moment like this, in which we're seeing something similar happen, in which we are pulling back, first and foremost, I'm not nervous about it. And second of all, I expect that this is going to happen. Even in the situation in which we do start to see eventually Bitcoin's price break above this descending wedge in which we're in, it's going to have moments like this where it has to get overextended to the downside, find the higher low, build up a foundational support, use that foundational support to re-clear this previous point of resistance, clear that 786 zone, use it to then come back up, maybe even bounce off of this zone right here, come back test, then clear it, right? You need to see these things. You're going to have the volatility, and it's important because you need those liquidations to happen while you're on your way up. You need these swings to the upside and the downside and the upside and the downside to continuously be liquidating these people out of positions that are so highly volatile and leveraged that it does, of course, impact us negatively in the long run. And so my overall general thesis here and my thoughts at this given point is that what we are seeing in the crypto market is not something to be concerned about. It is rather normal, although it could go down lower. And I will admit that, right? We have many key levels of liquidity below us, right? Support here, 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 and here. 4 key levels of support, none of which directly where we are now, except for this last one. And so in my opinion, yeah, if, we do continue to see the market fall a little bit, I definitely could see a total fall from here of another, possibly 5 to 10%. And I know that's a lot, especially if you're new here, but in the grand scheme of things, it's natural and normal. And so where I'm at right now is that although this could continue a little bit lower and we could come back down to some of these key levels of support, it's not something that I'm super concerned about. It's necessary for the overall, development and adoption to be able to get this thing out here to clear through these key levels of bullish and bearish resistance. And so, of course, because of that, I'm not concerned about it. My current game plan and strategy is to not purchase quite yet. Of course, you guys know we were doing a lot of purchasing on crypto back here, so I'm not doing some purchasing quite yet. I'm actually going to be waiting. And if we do start to interact with some of these lower zones of support, right, maybe we fall another 8 to 10% to the downside from a macro perspective, these are the zones in which I would be looking to accumulate because the likelihood of building some sort of support and then using that to return to the upside is extremely high. So I am holding off right now, but I am preparing to start to average into these different positions and enter into a buy zone once we go a little bit lower. So I will, of course, not only continue to update you about it, but I will continue to prepare for it so that when the updates do come, you are as ready and you're as prepared as possible. So overall, guys, that is about it for today's video. Look, at the end of the day, we're just getting a rejection off of some key points of resistance. This is normal. This is natural. You're going to see this happen. In the grand scheme of things, we are still putting in these higher highs. Now it's time to come in, try to put in the higher low and continue upwards. And as we are in the progress of doing that, I will be accumulating around what I believe to be the bottom. And so not stressing about it, not too concerned about it, definitely not freaking out and losing sleep about it. And I hope you aren't either. So overall, that's my thoughts. That's my opinion. And of course, I hope you guys do enjoy. I am going to be dropping some videos tomorrow. I got some Solana vids, render vids, Jasmy vids, Bitcoin vids, and much more. So make sure that you do stay tuned for that. Of course, I know you guys like those Solana vids. That's dropping first thing in the morning. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. And of course, I can't wait to see you all soon in the next one. Peace out, everybody.